This is part 2 of the bee baby security blanket, and in this part we will make the blanket. So go ahead and have the body of your bee, and we're going to look at the bottom. So you have 12 remaining loops here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So go ahead and get your yarn and make a slip knot. And we're going to start in the last loop. So if you count this as the first one because it's more in the front and go around, you're going to start in this last loop here. It's very important that you start in the correct loop, otherwise the bee won't sit on the blanket right. So you're going to do 1 single crochet in the first 2 stitches. So 1 single crochet, and then you're going to have to reach forward to get this first loop here, and then do another single crochet. Okay, so in the next loop we're going to do 2 single crochets, and now we're just going to repeat that all the way around. So do 1 single crochet in the first loop, 1 single crochet in the second loop, and 2 single crochets in the third loop. 1 single crochet in the first loop, 1 single crochet in the second loop, and 2 single crochets into the third loop. One in the first, 1 in the second, and now we have 1 loop remaining, so go ahead and put 2 single crochets in that loop. Okay, so now we're back at the beginning. You're going to go ahead and slip stitch into this first single crochet that you made. Now we're going to chain 3. Now go ahead and place 1 single crochet in the same stitch that you just slip stitched into. Now for each remaining stitch we're going to place 2 double crochets in them. So 1, and 2, 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 1, and 2. One and 2. One and 2. One and 2. One and 2. And we got 1 stitch left. 1 and 2. Now if you count the chain 3 as 1, you should have 32 double crochets all the way around. So slip stitch into the top of your chain 3. And now we're going to chain 1, single crochet in that same stitch that you slip stitched into. And then in the next stitch, you're going to place another single crochet. In the next stitch after that, a half double crochet. In the next stitch, a double crochet. Now in the next stitch, we're going to do 1 double crochet and then chain 2 and then 1 double crochet all in the same stitch. So 1 double crochet, chain 2, 1 double crochet. Alright, so in the next stitch, put 1 double crochet. In the next stitch, a half double crochet. And in the next 3 stitches, we're placing 1 single crochet in each. So 1, 2, 3. And now we'll do a half double crochet in the next stitch. Double crochet in the next stitch. And now we'll do a double crochet, chain 2, double crochet all in the same stitch. In the next stitch, we'll do a double crochet. In the following stitch, a half double crochet. And now in the next 3 stitches, 1 single crochet in each. So 1, 2, and 3. In the next stitch, a half double crochet. In the following stitch, a double crochet. And in the next stitch, we're going to do a double crochet, chain 2, double crochet. In the next stitch, a double crochet. In the following stitch, a half double crochet. And in the next 3 stitches, 1 single crochet in each. 1, 2, 3. In the next stitch, a half double crochet. In the following stitch, a double crochet. And in the next stitch, we're going to do a double crochet, chain 2, double crochet. In the next stitch, a double crochet. In the following stitch, a half double crochet. And now we only have 1 stitch remaining, and you're going to put a single crochet in it. And then that next single crochet, the first one you made, you're going to slip stitch into it. Now we're going to chain 1. We're going to single crochet in the same stitch that we just slip stitched into. And now you're going to put 1 single crochet in the next 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, and 4. That brings us to our corner space. In this corner space, we're going to do 1 single crochet, chain 2, 1 single crochet. So 1 single crochet, chain 2, 1 single crochet. Now we have 9 stitches in a row. Do 1 single crochet in each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And that brings us back to a corner space where you're going to put 1 single crochet, chain 2, 1 single crochet. And again, we have 9 stitches. Put 1 single crochet in each of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, which brings us to a corner space, which is 1 single crochet, chain 2, 1 single crochet. And then we have 9 stitches, so 1 single crochet in each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, which brings us to our corner space, which is 1 single crochet, chain 2, and 1 single crochet. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces remaining, so put 1 single crochet in each of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now that first single crochet that we made, go ahead and slip stitch into it. Now we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And in the same stitch that we slip stitched into, put 2 double crochet. 1 and 2. Now we're going to skip 2 stitches, so skip, skip, and in this third stitch here, we're going to put 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Skipping 2 stitches again, that brings us to our corner space. And in this corner space, we're going to do 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, chain 2, and 3 more double crochet. 1, 2, and 3. Now we're going to skip 2 stitches again. 1, 2. It brings us to our third stitch here. Put 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Skipping 2 stitches again, put 3 double crochets in that third stitch. 1, 2, 3. Again, skipping 2 stitches in this third stitch, place 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3. Skipping 2 stitches again will bring you to this corner space. In this corner space, make 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 1, 2, and 3. Skip 2 spaces, and in the third stitch put 3 double crochet. 1, 2, and 3. Skipping 2 stitches, in the third stitch 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3. Skipping 2 stitches, in this third stitch place 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3. Skipping 3 stitches, or skipping 2 stitches will bring you to this corner space. Put 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 1, 2, and 3. Skip 2 stitches, and in the third stitch 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3. Skip 2 stitches, and in the third stitch put 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3. Skip 2 stitches, and in the third stitch 3 double crochet. 2, and 3. Skipping 2 stitches will bring you to this corner space. Place 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. Skip 2 stitches, and in the third stitch 3 double crochet. And that brings us back to the beginning. So in the top of the chain 3, go ahead and slip stitch. Now go ahead and chain 3. Now we're going to be working in the spaces in between the double crochets. So in this next space, place 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3. In the next space, 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3. In the corner space, it'll be 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, chain 2. 1, 2, 3. Again, in each space in between the double crochets, we'll be working 3 double crochets. One, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Back to a corner space, which is 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, chain 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. This is back to 3 double crochet in each space. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Back to a corner space, which is 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, chain 2. 1, 2, 3. 3 double crochet in each of these spaces in between the double crochets. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Back to a corner space, which is 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. Now we're to where we started. You have this last space that has nothing in it, so place 3 double crochet, and now this next space, this chain 3 counts as 1 double crochet, so you only need to put 2 in here. 1, 2, and then slip stitch into the top of the chain 3. Okay, so that just now was row 6 of the blanket. For row 7 of the blanket, we're going to start by making a single crochet in this space. Then chain 2. And now we're going to work 2 double crochet in this same space. Now you have 2 spaces left in between the double crochets, so 3 double crochets in each. And now that brings us to a corner space, which is 3 double crochet, chain 2, and 3 double crochet. So go ahead and continue with row 7. You're just going to put 3 double crochets in each of these spaces between the double crochets, and then the corner spaces you'll do 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet, and I will meet you back here to finish this last row of row 7 and start the next row. Okay, so now we're back to the beginning row of row 7. So you have 2 spaces left. They each need 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So now go ahead and slip stitch into the top of the single crochet chain 2, and that is row 7 complete, and this is starting row 8. So you're going to chain 3, and then you have 3 spaces that each need 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and now you're at a corner space, so 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. Okay, so now you're back to a straight stretch. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spaces. So just continue this row doing 3 double crochet in each of those spaces. The corner space getting 3 double crochet, chain 2, and I will meet you back here to finish row 8 and start row 9. Okay, well, so we're back at the beginning of row 8. So you have 1, 2 spaces that have nothing in them. They need 3 double crochet each. One, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then you have the space that has the chain 3, so you only need 2 more double crochet in here. 1, 2. And then you're going to slip stitch in the top of this chain 3. And that ends row 8. So moving on to row 9, you're going to single crochet in this space, chain 2, and then place 2 single crochets in the same space. And now you have 1, 2, 3 spaces here. They each get 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and that'll bring you to a corner space, which gets 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. Okay, so now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spaces that each get 3 double crochet in each of them, and then the corners get 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. So go ahead and finish row 9, and I will meet you back here at the beginning of row 9 to finish it and start row 10. Okay, so now we're back to where we started row 9. So you have 1, 2, 3 spaces that each need 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3. So now slip stitch into the top of the single crochet, chain 2, and that ends row 9. So this starts row 10. You're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then you have 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces that each need 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and that brings us to a corner space, which is 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 1, 2, and 3. So now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 spaces that each need 3 double crochet, and the corner spaces is 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. So go ahead and finish row 10, and I'll meet you right back here to finish row 10 with you and start row 11. Okay, so now we're back to where we started row 10. So we have 1, 2, 3 spaces left that each need 3 double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And now this last space already has a chain 3, which counts as 1 double crochet, so you just need 2 more in this last space. 1 and 2. And now go ahead and slip stitch into the top of the chain 3. and that ends row 10. So this is starting row 11. Go ahead and single crochet in that space and chain 2, and place 2 double crochets in the same space. And now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces that each need 3 double crochet in them. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And now we're at a corner space, which gets 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. 2, 3, chain 2, 1, 2, 3. So now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 spaces that each need 3 double crochet, and your corner spaces will get 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. So go ahead and work your way around row 11, and I will meet you back here to finish row 11 and start row 12. Okay, so now we're back to finish row 11. You should have 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces that each need 3 double crochet left. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Go ahead and slip stitch into the top of the single crochet, chain 2. And that ends row 11. To start row 12, you're going to chain 3. And then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces that each need 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And now you're at a corner space, so put 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 1, 2, and 3. So now you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 spaces that each need 3 double crochet. Your corner spaces will be 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. So go ahead and continue working on row 12, and I'll meet you back here to finish row 12 and start row 13. Okay, so we're back to the beginning of row 12. You should have 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces left to put 3 double crochet in each. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and now we have 1 space left that needs 2 double crochet. 1 and 2. So then go ahead and slip stitch into the top of the chain 3. And that ends row 12. To start row 13, you're going to single crochet in this space and then chain 2. And then place 2 double crochet in the same space. And now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces that each need 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and now we're at a corner space, so 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. Okay, so now you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 spaces that each need 3 double crochet. And the corner spaces get 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. So go ahead and finish, or go around and finish row 13, and we'll meet here to finish row 13 together and start row 14. Okay, so now we're back to the beginning of row 13, so let's go ahead and finish it together. You should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces that each need 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And now slip stitch into the top of the single crochet, chain 2. And that ends row 13. To begin row 14, you're going to chain 3. And then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spaces that each need 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, which brings us to a corner space. So 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet, okay, so now you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 spaces that each need 3 double crochets. Chain, the corner space gets 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. Go ahead and work your way around to the beginning of row 14, and we'll finish row 14 together and start row 15. Okay, so we're back to the beginning of row 14. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces left that need 3 double crochet in them. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and now we have 1 space left that needs 2 double crochet. 1 and 2. Now go ahead and slip stitch into the top of the chain 3. And that ends row 14. So let's go ahead and start row 15, which is our last row. So you're going to single crochet and then chain 2, and then 2 more double crochet in the same space. And now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spaces left that need 3 double crochet in each. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and that brings us to a corner space, which is 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. Okay, so now you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 spaces that each need 3 double crochet in them. And then in your corner spaces, 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. So go ahead and work your way around row 15, and I'll meet you back here to finish it together. Okay, now we're back to the beginning of row 15, so let's go ahead and finish it. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spaces that each need 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now go ahead and slip stitch into the top of the single crochet chain 2. And that is the end of row 15. Go ahead and cut your yarn free and pull it through. And now we'll go ahead and move on to the trim. Okay, so now we're ready to start the trim. So grab whatever color you're using. I'm going back to yellow for this, and make a slip knot. Now you want to hold the blanket so that the head is away from you. Well, in this case, the body of the bee is away from you. And then go to a corner space and put 3 single crochets in it. So 1, 2, and 3. Now we're going to put 1 single crochet in each of the 45 stitches that go in the straight stretch. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, and 45. And now we're back to a corner space, and that gets 3 single crochets. 1, 2, and 3. So go ahead and continue working your way around, putting 1 single crochet in each of the 45 stitches across, 3 single crochets in the corner space, and I'll meet you back here and we'll begin row 2 of the trim. Okay, so you should have worked the trim all the way back, and we're back to where we started. So take a marker and place it in this last single crochet that you made. And then we're going to slip stitch into the first single crochet that we made. And now we're going to chain 1, and we're going to turn our work over. So now the bee should be facing you as you work. So in this first stitch here, what you have marked, you're going to put a single crochet. And now we're going to skip 1 stitch, and then we're going to put 5 double crochets in this next stitch. So skip a stitch, 5 doubles in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now we're going to skip 1 stitch and single crochet into the next. So skip and then single crochet. Now again, we're going to skip a stitch and 5 doubles in the next. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now skip a stitch and 1 single crochet, skip a stitch and 5 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now skip a stitch and single crochet. And we're just going to repeat this all the way around the blanket. So you'll skip a stitch, 5 double crochet, skip a stitch, 1 single crochet. So go ahead and repeat this all the way around, and I'll meet you back at the beginning. Okay, so you should have worked your way all around the blanket, and now you're back to where we started. The last thing you should have done is put 5 double crochet in this last stitch here. So now find that first single crochet that you made, which is right here, and we're going to slip stitch into it. And now go ahead and cut your yarn free and pull through. And now the blanket is made. So let's go ahead and move on to assembling. So the first thing we're going to attach is the stripe. This can be a little bit difficult and time consuming, so take your time. But you're gonna get it into the middle as best you can and use pins to hold it in place. Okay, so after you got it on there, just look it all over and make sure that it looks even. So take your time with this. and get it positioned exactly how you would like it, and then we'll begin attaching. Okay, so once you're ready to attach, go ahead and put the yarn tail on a yarn needle. And we're going to start at the bottom here. And you're just going to go into the B and up through the stripe, back down through the stripe, into the B and out, and then back over, and through the B. So now that's what we're just attaching. We just attached the bottom here, so it is attached. Okay, so now we're just going to work our way up. So it may be a little difficult to see, but you're just going to come through a stitch of the, let's see if I can make it better to see here. You're just going to go in through the top stitch like that. So we just went in this one, so we're going to go back and pop up through the next one. And then up to the next one. And we're just going to continue this all the way. Don't worry if it pulls a little bit of stuffing fibers, you can pull them out. But go ahead and continue just working your way all the way up and down to the next side. And then I will join you again and we will use this next yarn tail to attach this other side. Okay, so now you should have one whole side attached. And after I went through this last stitch, I just pulled the yarn tail. I went back in the B and pulled the yarn tail out here just to keep it out of the way for now. So now we're going to attach the other side. So go ahead and place the other yarn tail on your yarn needle. And just like the other side, we're going to go in to the B and attach this bottom part to the B. Again, just take your time when attaching the stripe so it doesn't get put on crooked. And again, don't worry about these little fibers because you can pull them out. Plus, they're much more visible with this flashlight on than they actually are in person. Okay, so just like we did with the other side, we're going to attach this side of the shirt. Just by one stitch at a time, going into the B and away, and then coming back up to the next stitch of the B and going up and back into the B. So just repeat this process all the way to the other side, and just do it slowly and keep an eye on your stripe so it stays even on both sides and not crooked. And I will meet you after the stripes are attached. Okay, so once your stripe is completely attached, go ahead and take your yarn tail to any one of these black stitches. I'm just going to knot off and then just go back down through the stripe and out through the bottom of the blanket. Go ahead and cut that free. And we're going to do the same thing to the other side. And then bring it through the stripe and out through the bottom of the blanket. And then cut that free. So now your bee has a stripe. So let's go ahead and move along. So now we're going to move on and attach the wings. So you would have had a center yarn tail right here. So just go ahead and weave that in and snip it free. All you got to do is just take it and run it through a few stitches like that. Even that much would be enough, and pull it through and then snip it free. So to attach the wings, you're going to take it, and after where you slip stitched, this is the part that'll be on the bee. So go ahead and stick one on first. And since we have that stripe, it's kind of hard to see what row I'm attaching this to. I believe it is row 2 though. So take the other wing and the same thing, after where you slip stitch, this is the part you're going to be attaching. And put it about 2 to 3 spaces away from the other one. And then pin it down. Buttons. Okay. So you want to make sure before you start attaching that your wings look like they're evenly placed. So this one looks like it could come over just a little bit. Okay, so I think that looks pretty good. And then from the top, you want to look and make sure too. And I think that looks really good. So we'll go ahead and start attaching. Okay, so we're going to take the yarn needle. And go straight down into the bee. And then go back, and it might be kind of hard to get through because you're going through not only the bee but the stripe, but then go up through the next stitch. And then go back. And then come up, and you're going to get that first stitch where you slip stitched. And then go back again. Okay, so you've attached this wing in the 3 stitches. So just come back up through the wing and go ahead and just knot off. And then take it back down and away for now. Okay. So now you can just check, make sure your other one didn't get moved around too much. And then we're just going to attach this the same way. Okay, and then again we're going to go ahead and knot off. And take it back down through, and you can meet it up with the other yarn tail. Go ahead and tie these 2 together. We're going to take these yarn tails down through the body and out the bottom here. And snip. Okay, and just kind of give your bee back its shape. Alright, now let's go ahead and attach the stinger. So with the stinger, go ahead and cut the starting yarn tail a little shorter, and you're just going to tuck it in there. So the stinger is going to go about halfway up the bee, and then you want to make sure it is in the center of the wings. So just find where you think it looks best and pin it, and then just look it all over and make sure. Alright, so I think that looks good. So we'll go ahead and attach this. So there's only 6 stitches for this bee, so not very many. So just take your time working around, going in and out of the stitches, attaching them to the bee. Making sure it stays centered as you go. Okay, so once your stinger is attached, go back up through it. And knot off. Go back in through the stinger and out the bottom of the blanket here. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on and put a face on our bee. So for the face, I'm using Cotton Fair. It is Fine 2, but I'll be using the color black. Okay, so take your Cotton Fair yarn and double it up on a yarn needle. And we're going to go about 8, 4, 5, 6 rows up from the bottom. And then you're going to space the eyes even with the wings here. So it goes a couple stitches past where they were attached, but make sure both of them are even. And it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spaces apart. So go in the side of your bee and pop out right underneath your marker and pull the yarn so that you still have some out. And then you're just going to go up 1 row and back into the bee, and then pop out in the same bottom row here underneath your stitch. And again, go up 1 row and back down. And make sure your eyes look good. And go back to the second eye that you made. And we're going to double it up and go back to the first eye. And then go in and take it down and away. Okay. So you can go over them a 3rd time if you'd like, or you can leave them just 2. But whenever you're ready for the mouth, I'm gonna go up, and it'll be just one row under the eye and over 2 stitches, and then go down 1 row and over, and then go back, okay, to where the top of the other side of the mouth will be, and then go down and over 1, and pull it through, and then go back and up, and then you're going to go right down in to complete the smile. And now go back over to where you first started the smile. And now you're just going to go underneath the yarn and wrap it. Alright, and then once you're back up to the other side of the mouth, just go in that same stitch and pop out where the other yarn tails are. Go ahead and tie these together. And then lightly go back into the same hole that they came from and lightly pull them out through the bottom of the blanket. And go ahead and cut them free. Okay, so we have one more little touch to add. So go ahead and get yourself a little bit of pink yarn and go in through the side of the face and pop out one space over from the mouth, right under the eye, and then go back in one space over and do the same thing on the other side here. And just don't pull too tight. And pop out with the yarn tail. And then tie these together. And again, go down through the same hole and then lightly pull it out the bottom of the blanket here. And snip it free. And here is the cute little bee face. Okay, so now go ahead and weave in all your yarn tails, and then we'll meet back here to add the flower. Okay, so at this point, your blanket is done, your bee is done, all the yarn tails are weaved in. There's only one thing left to do, and that is add flowers. So make sure you go ahead and weave in your yarn tails, with the exception of the one long pink one that we will be using to attach to the blanket. You may have crocheted some of your yarn tails in, but just make sure you leave this long one here. Okay, so now you're ready to place your flower. So you can place your flower wherever you'd like. You can place as many as you'd like. So I'm going to place this one right here. So to attach it, you're just going to go in the next stitch of the flower, and then just find a spot underneath here and just go through the top layer of the double crochet of the blanket, and then go back into the next stitch of the flower, and then we're going to do this all the way around. Okay. So into the next stitch of the flower, and then just grab one of the top strands of the double crochet of the blanket, and back up through the flower. And you're only going through the top layer of the double crochet because you don't want to see the pink yarn attaching the flower to the blanket from the other side. And also every now and then flatten out your flower, make sure you're not crunching up the blanket. That you see as you flip it over, even though I already have part of the flower attached, you don't see any of the pink strands from the bottom. Again, every now and then flatten the flower out, make sure it's not scrunching up the blanket. If you get to a petal and you can't reach any white double crochets, just go ahead and skip it onto the next petal. Just don't pull too tight. And then I'm going to go down and grab a stitch of the white double crochet here, and back up through here, so I can continue on. Attaching. Okay, so we're approaching the beginning of where we were attaching here. Okay, so this flower is now completely attached. And if you look underneath, you don't see any pink strands. So just go ahead and knot off on a piece of the flower. And then go ahead and weave this yarn tail in and under a few stitches of the pink flower. And then you can cut it free. And that is how you attach the flower. So go ahead and add as many flowers as you'd like to your blanket. Now your bee blanket should be complete. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe to my page, and check out some of my other crochet tutorials. Thank you for watching.